How's it going, folks? Shane here at Double LNS Farm. As you can probably hear, we're back out with the sheep. We've had them in our little dry lot here for the past week or so, trying to get everybody wormed, get some of the older boys that we had a little earlier than expected, to get them banded. And anyway, we're getting ready to put them back out on pasture, and I figured we'd talk a little bit about our setup here on our small holding, and cover kind of how we rotate the sheep and see if we can't help some people figure some stuff out about what they want to do with their properties and their flocks. So as you can hear, they're ready to go. So let's get to it. All right, so there we go. Everybody's back out on pasture. As you can see, our grass got a little bit ahead of us in that week they were in the paddock there. That's okay, we'll get caught up. We'll speed everybody's rotations up and get them to eat it down. But let's talk a little bit about how we do this. Because I have a 9 to 5 off farm, so it has to be, our system has to be pretty efficient. I have to be able to move them pretty quickly. So our whole lot back here, our back pasture, it's about 6 acres. Kind of goes all the way up over there and that towards the tree line. The tree line's the edge there, and then comes back down here towards the house. You can see all our grass is really growing in here. Anyway, so what we've done is we've got a bunch of these step-in posts. We got them from Premier One. I'm not endorsed by them, but they do make a pretty good post. We've been pretty impressed with them. And then we just got some poly braid here. And like we talked about before, I run 2 strands for our stuff until the lambs are all broke. They're pretty broke now. I could probably take this down to 1, but I leave it up quasi permanent, so it's just stayed at 2. I haven't taken it down. But for this one here, you can see we just have 1 strand. Now we use these Speed Right reels. It's a 3-to-1 gear ratio on there, so it reels it up pretty quick, and it works great. But for here, we have just 1 strand, and that works to keep the sheep in as long as they aren't starving. Which, with all this grass, are you kidding me? They can't eat enough of this. And then we just rotate them. We rotate them every 3 days, at most, preferably around 2. But with it being like this, we will probably rotate them. Probably at 2, maybe 3. There's a lot of stuff in here, but we need to get caught up, so we'll get them and we'll move them into this paddock here next. And then what I do is I'll just grab another reel, another spool of line, poly wire, and then we'll go and we'll set up over there. You can see that post right there, and that'll be the next paddock. And so I think we have 10 paddocks, no, 12 paddocks set up this way. So a full rotation, if we're doing a full 3 days in every area, it'll be 36 days. So you want your animals moving all the time, and you don't want them being on a place they've grazed within the last 20 to 30 days. I've heard different numbers. We try and keep it at 30. So they'll rotate back once they go all the way up over the hill there, come back down. and then it'll loop back around again, and then this will be their first paddock. That's the first paddock of the rotation there. And you can see I got the posts. I leave these posts in most of the time. If I need some, I'll take them out and move them. You want to keep them moving. It prevents the parasites. It really, really helps. I can't recommend it enough. Keeps your grass growing, and that's just what you want to be doing. If you could do it, I mean, if you can't do that, then even if you split this whole place and you just split it in two, that's better than not moving them at all. But the more you can split it up, the more you can move them, the better off you'll be. So set up your system so that it's quick, it's easy to move. We have this portable shelter here. I need to build another one. We're getting to have enough sheep now that we need another one. But all this is a simple frame. I just used some round posts that I had laying around there, a couple 2x4s, and then we took 2 cattle panels and bent them over in a huge hoop, all right, and then covered it with a tarp. Now I can move this by myself, but it is fairly heavy, so we use a tractor, just because I'm moving it pretty far. If I was moving it a short distance, this would move fairly easily, but you could use a lawn tractor. We just use our little subcompact, and it moves it fairly easily. And then our water. Let's go over what we do for water. So your rotation needs to revolve around water. I can't emphasize it enough. It's important that they have clean drinking water. So what we've done is at this post right there, you can see we have a spigot. It's a hydrant, and it comes down, and I have it hooked up to a hose that comes right over here where the little guys are drinking. Well, it looks like we got to fix the float valve, but that's okay. So we just use a 40-gallon trough, and then we have a Job high flow float valve in here. And this works great. You just got to make sure that you got the float valve set right. So I'll have to adjust it here in a second so that we aren't leaking water all over the place. But this thing is a lifesaver. I mean, it just makes the thing so much better. And just so easy. I mean, I used to have to walk back to the back 40 and fill up this trough every day, but now it just fills up itself. You just got to make sure, like I said, that you got the float valve adjusted right. So here, real quick, let me go ahead and do that. All right. There we go. Got that to stop leaking. So the other thing we did here is we set up a quick disconnect. That makes it so much easier. When I have to move this, I mean, this just pops right off, right? And then you need to connect it. Pops right back in. Easy, easy, please. So, again, I work off farm. I don't have time to waste, standing out here watching this thing, making sure that it's filling up. Or to stand out here and oversee it as the hose fills it up. I adjust the float valve, make sure it's good to go. And this is on a hill, so that makes it a little trickier. But this thing could fill up as I'm walking around doing stuff. And I mean, once it's adjusted, it stays in place, and I don't really have to pay attention to it too much. But setting up your system so that you could get your animals rotating as much as possible. Oh, there goes the little guy. So you could get them rotating, get them going through, eating grass, and keeping the parasite load down. So we still do have to worm. I mean, that's just kind of a nature of the beast. Though we do worm minimally. Really, we just worm once a year after everybody's lambed. That's what we're doing right now. Everybody else, I mean, it'll be a spot worming. If somebody has a problem, we'll worm them. But then, I mean, really, what we're going for is we'll end up culling. We'll get rid of the ones that have problems. we don't have time. We don't have time for that. So that's just kind of what you got to do. It's a tough choice, but needs to be done. I will say, we pay attention to Greg Judy, and he does a lot of great things, but some of his systems just really don't. I mean, the not worming at all, that just doesn't work for us. It doesn't. I mean, we have some animals that are obviously better than others, but I mean, we'd like to be able to get to that point maybe if we could, but we just don't have enough property. I mean, we only have about 10 and a half acres here. So I mean, we'd like to get a rotation going where we could maybe not worm, and we'll have to see how it goes. That's the goal. But in the meantime, we have to worm. So it's something we do. But there you go. That's the sheep operation. Like I said, just keep them moving. Gosh, we got a lot of grass, folks. It's a lot of grass. We'll have to get them moving through here so we could get them eating it all. That week in the dry lot, that kind of messed up the rotation a little bit. You got to account for that, but needed to be done. How could I forget? Good grief. Need to get my act together. So, we do free choice mineral. This is just a small bull mineral feeder, and we found this to work really well with the sheep. No problems. It keeps it dry, keeps them from spilling it everywhere, and from pooping and peeing in it. So that is, minerals are king. You want them to have free choice minerals if you could do it. There you go, folks. That's our operation. And so far, it's worked really well for us. There's obviously some refining that we got to do, timing things a little better maybe, but one step at a time. I mean, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Start small. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just get something and get it going. Refine it as you go and make it better. Anyhow, folks, that's all we got for today. Have a happy Mother's Day. God bless.